Positively Petland show, Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock on Iowa City's news and sports station 800 KXIC. Bunnies galore. Ron Solsrud in from Petland, Iowa City. You can always find out more about them at petlandiowacity.com. Ron, how many bunnies do you have in the store right now?
We have 5 right now, and they do go fast. I'm always amazed on how many people want a bunny and how many people find that is the right pet for them. And so it is a quite popular little pet. Jerry, did you have any small animals, also known as little rodents, for a pet when you were growing up?
Yeah.
What did you have?
Everything.
So you had a whole, tell me, give me some here.
Hamster, gerbils, guinea pig, rabbits. No reptiles, but yeah, we always had something around.
So how long did you have your rabbit?
Oh gosh, I was pretty young, probably for a couple of years.
What was that like for you?
What was it like for me?
Yeah, to have a bunny. How did it?
It was just something in the backyard.
Did you have it in like a hutch or something?
Yeah, outside.
Okay. So you grew up in the area here? Where did they go, like, in the wintertime? Did they just kind of...
I was pretty young. I don't remember
how that all went and all that kind of stuff. So there are so many different pets that you can have in your family, and it's just a neat thing to have as part of your life and bring them into your family. A lot of people, like, all are about the puppies or the kittens, and just can't make that time commitment for them. So there are other pets out there that create great memories. I have my little Wilbur. It was a guinea pig, and I also had a rabbit for a short period of time. And that was just an incredible experience to grow up with that. Talking with people about their experiences with them. It's just the bonding as a child. It's a great friend to have, especially when life is hard for that little child and all that kind of thing, and having another or a little pet that they can talk to and talk it out with. Small animals tend to be a lot easier to take care of than those bigger puppies and cats and dogs and all that kind of stuff, so that it's not as much of work for you. And so there's just so many great things. I can remember, sitting, reading a book and hanging out with Wilbur, and it just was great memories. Even to this day in the store, when I'm walking through and I pass by the guinea pigs, I just there's a smell that comes up.
Yeah, they smell.
And I love that memory of that smell. And I'm talking about a nice clean smell, Jerry. That's a good point you bring out. There are some odors that occur with dogs, with us. And if you don't take care of them, then some smells come about, but there's ways for you, and that's where the maintenance gets in on it. But I love those memories that come out, and after all these years here, after being in the store for 13 years, still love that memory that comes into my mind when I think back on those days with, like you said, I had hamsters, gerbils, guinea pigs, ferrets, bunnies, and all that kind of a thing.
Oh my!
So all animals, including us, have what we call the 4 basic needs, and it's important to have those 4 basic needs covered, and it's a good way of saying, hey, is this the right pet for me? So all creatures out there have behavioral needs, environmental needs, maintenance needs, and nutritional needs. And so what I was going to do is go a little bit through that and understand, okay, so what kind of commitment am I getting into on these bunnies? So size does matter on a bunny, because you can go all the way from dwarfs, which can be as small as in that 3 to 4 pounds, all the way up to Flemish giants, which are sometimes big. They are bigger than some dogs out there. That's a big bunny that takes up some space. So make sure you understand what you're getting. In our store, we typically have bunnies that are on the dwarf or miniature side, so they're going to be in that 4 to 5, 7 pounds. A lot of it has to do with how you feed them, and we'll get into that. With my guinea pig especially, I overfed my guinea pig, and I didn't, at that point when I was younger, didn't realize it, didn't know it. And so we'll talk about how do I not get into that and keep them at the right weight and everything. So some behavioral things for a rabbit. One of the first things is having a hideout for your rabbit in their habitat. And that's some place where they can hide and go under and go in. If you think about it, in the natural setting, uh, a lot of rodents, including rabbits, have to protect themselves because they are a food source for other animals out there, especially birds. So they always are keeping an eye on what's going on in the sky, what's going on around them, and all that. And they are never too far away from something to duck under just in case that hawk comes running by or flying by. So a hideout is a great thing. You can, get the plastic ones. We have a lot of really cute little hideouts that they can go into. A lot of our habitats come built with a hideout in it so that you have multiple places for the little guy to go hide under. When I was younger, Grandpa had a woodworking shop, and we made a safe to eat wood little hideout for them. And so there's a lot of different things you can do on that hideout side of things to protect them. It's a de-stressor for your rabbit. So it's a way, like, just we all need those times, and I need a little time out. So let's say your child is, all handsy and everything, and the rabbit just ducks under. And normally the rabbit is really nice, and it's coming out. Well, the rabbit's just stressed out over something, so it's just hiding out for a little bit, and then give them a break, and then come back in and test the waters again, and slowly move towards that rabbit so that you don't stress them out. A word of note: exercise wheels and fun balls are not appropriate for bunnies and not appropriate for guinea pigs. Their backs are not designed to be on that kind of a surface where they are arcing up like that. So don't introduce that into their habitat or what you're doing with them. But they do need chews. Rodents have something in common. So everything from mice, rats, guinea pigs to bunnies have something in common in that their teeth continue to grow out. Their teeth are somewhere between the hardness of our teeth and our fingernails. So they're a little softer, and they continue to grow.
But when they bite, they bite.
Yes. Well, yeah, that would be true. And anything with a mouth bites, including children. So we got to, be cautious on that. So the chews are something for them to gnaw on. And one of my favorite things, and I got some things here in the studio, as far as chews go, is it's called a snack shack. And what it is it's a kind of lava-y stone outer covering that can break down with chewing and stuff. And then on the inside is all sorts of seeds and stuff like that. So it is the bunny is attracted to it because of the seeds and everything. But to get to them, they got to work at it. And so their teeth are then filed down over time so that you don't have to bring them to a vet to have that done. Just with some mild chews, having them in your habitat keeps everything under control. I never had to bring my guinea pigs or bunnies or any other rodent that I had to the vet in order to get them trimmed because I had plenty of chews in there. So the Snack Shack is one of those that is just incredible and one of the top sellers in our store. Another one is called the Kebab. And so picture, a shish kebabi kind of rod, and you can put the chews right on that. So a lot of chews, you'll notice, if you've never thought of it or looked at it, they have little holes in them. And it's so you can put them on a shish kebab. And what that does is it allows you to suspend that shish kebab on the side of the cage or even from the top of the cage so that it's not getting into the litter. And so it's not mingling in with the poop and all that kind of stuff. And so it's keeping it nice, clean, and sanitary for them. And also makes them kind of work for it. They got to, lean up and all that kind of stuff. Exercise is good. And so what you want to do is, this is a nice way of keeping kids interactive with them, because you can get very cool with the different chews. You can get them anything from the bananas and pears and apples, but you can also get some trendy things that are happening in the kids. So over time, I've seen everything from, Disney puts out a new movie. All of a sudden there's a chew based on the main character. So you can go buy that and make it part of the habitat that's in there. And the child loves that. They get into it and stuff. So kebab is one of those must-haves in your habitat that you have. Another thing that I find is really good for children and the kid in all of us is getting a collar and lead for your bunny. And this is something I don't always say. You can come back and get that later, because what happens a lot of times, and some of us parents that have gone through this a couple of times with our children find out that the child kind of gets bored with things and all that, and we need to help them liven it up. It's a lesson that we all learned when we were younger, that we have to kind of freshen things up from time to time to make things new again. And what I like to offer when people come in and they're getting the food and all that kind of stuff, I go, hey, how's your child's interaction with the bunny or the whatever it is? And they'll go, oh, it's a little less now. I'm taking care of it or whatever. I go, here, I would suggest a collar and lead for the bunnies, the ferrets, the guinea pigs, because it's a way for the child to interact with that pet outside, and they can then go for a walk with their little pet. And I always caution them. I go, this isn't something like a dog where a dog goes for a walk with you. This is more they take you on their walk. So you kind of just follow them around, a lot like a cat or a kitten would do. They kind of take you on their walk. It's not really interactive in the way that you're going. It's more of what they're doing. And for a rabbit, like Jerry said, they're going to hang out and check out the dandelion and chew down on all that kind of stuff. So a collar and lead is an excellent way to get that interaction with the kids and the kids and all of us. A little bit about the cage. People always ask, how big of a cage do I need? And my answer is always as big as you can go, because this is a lot of time where they're going to spend in it, and you want to get an appropriately sized cage. I've seen too many times when people will use like a dog kennel. Not appropriate for a bunny. It's too small. They need to hop around, especially when you put the food bowl and the water bowl and the hideout in there, and the chews and stuff. You're going to stand back and go, wait, there's no room for them to walk around. So an appropriate size bunny cage is very important. I suggest a minimum of a 4 foot long with about a 2 to 3 foot wide spans. That's the minimum. So that's something you want to consider when you're bringing them into the house. Do I have that real estate in my house to put this bunny down in? If not, let's go with something smaller then, like a hamster or something. So the cage is appropriate for that. In our store, we have a lot of cages now that have packages, and it makes it cheaper for you. So with that cage comes the water bottle, comes with the food bowl, comes with a hideout, comes with a lot of different things. I also like cages that have top entry so that they open on the top. You're going to love that feature, especially when you got to get in there, do a little maintenance, or just getting that pet out of the cage. So some of the things you want to consider when you're picking out the cage. I also like ceramic dishes and bowls. If it's plastic, they will chew down on it over time. That's not a bad thing. It's not hurting them or anything like that, but you're just going to have to replace it. If you get a ceramic, I like it because it's a little more sturdy in that way. It's also solid and weighty. It's not something they can easily tip over and mess up and all that kind of stuff. So ceramic dishes and bowls are really, really good on that. A cage cleaner and deodorizer. Jerry mentioned, hey, don't think this little guy is all smelling like roses. They do poop and they do pee, so you got to take care of that. Usually a maintenance once a week on a bunny is adequate. If you have 2 bunnies, well, now you doubled the load, so now you're going to have to do double the work. So also know that going into it. There are cleaners that are safe for bunnies that you can use on there. And then there's deodorizers. The deodorizers are something that you can put in the litter box, and we'll talk about that next. But the deodorizers, and you can sprinkle them in their habitat as well, are ammonia absorbers. If you didn't know it, urine is a relative in the ammonia class. And so these absorbers absorb that so that you don't smell as much as far as the urine goes. If you take care of your bunny on a weekly basis and clean things out, chances are you're really not even going to need the deodorizer. Your life is pretty good at that point. So get an ammonia absorber if you're a little sensitive to it, and you can add that in and bring that down. You can also add deodorizers into their water. There are some biological enzymes now that have come out where they can drink them in and ingest them, and they actually calm down those smells that we sometimes find offensive. These are especially good for ferrets, but they also work really well with rabbits and guinea pigs and stuff. So if odor is sensitive to you, then those are some things that you can do on that. We talked about the litter pan, or I just started talking about that. The bunnies are one of the few rodents that can easily be potty trained by putting a litter box in there in the corner. That bunnies and most rodents will go to corners to take care of their business. They are prone to do it. So you put the litter box where they're doing their business, and then they choose another corner. We'll just move the litter box over there, and then they choose another corner. You just move the litter box over there. Eventually, they start liking that litter box, and then that minimizes your work so that they do all their messes in the litter box itself. So that's a nice tip that you can do. If you're having a little difficulty or you have a guinea pig or other rodent, put a little bit of the hay in that litter box, and they will then eat, and they tend to do their business while they're eating. And so it's just a nice thing to get them to start going in the litter box. And then I think we're coming to the end here. Let's talk about nutrition. Nutrition is critical. And here's something that I didn't learn until I was older. My guinea pig, I knew, was overweight significantly. I just kept on putting food in there. And you do have to have. But what I didn't know is that hay is 3/4 of their diet. So by volume, hay needs to be 3/4 of their diet, and then only 1/4 are those little pellets. So the hay, how you get them to do that? Just have the hay available, because what they'll do is they'll chew down on the hay. That takes space up in their stomach, and so they don't have as much room to put the high proteins and the high calorie contents of those pellets. So just have hay available in there. And Oxbow is a great source of both the hay and the food. And Oxbow, here's another little trick to keep things less messy, is they've taken that hay and they will compress it into discs. It is a great tool to bring home. Instead of getting the big bags of hay, you get these compressed discs, and you don't see the hay flying all over the place. And you just crack one off, crack a piece off, and then just maintain that in their habitat so that they always have that hay available to them. So for those young bunnies, you're going to get Young Buddy food. Oxbow is really great for that. And then the hay that you want to steer towards is the alfalfa hay. That is higher in nutrients, and then that keeps everybody nice and healthy. At about 6 months of age, you can switch over to a primary Western Timothy hay, but always mix it up. When you get that big bag of Western Timothy hay, grab a small one of the botanical or even alfalfa or any of the other really nice varieties out there. Get a small bag of those, mix it in. Bunnies will narrow their palates down if you don't keep their palate wide as far as variety and stuff like that. And you'll find, oh gosh, the bunny's not eating this stuff, and I thought I bought a lot of it or whatever. If you continue to introduce the different types of hays in a small variety, they'll keep that palate wide open so that they'll be open to a lot of different things. How are we doing, Jerry?
60 seconds. Pretty good.
Awesome. All right, we are Petland of Iowa City. Come in and check out our bunnies and play and have fun. Ask us questions, find out if they're the right pet for you. Take advantage of our buy 10, get one free on all of our dog and cat food. We track it for you. And those $5 nail trims, unless you bought them from us, in which case it's free. Come on in.
There it is. Positively Petland Show, Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock on Iowa City's news and sports station 800 KXIC. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.